We're ready tonight, so let's go ahead and hit this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we ready to go. Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? We back. It's the Wheel List Podcast. We are back on your ass. Check it out. Yeah, man, what's happening with you? Check it out, man. We're gonna talk some shit today. We're gonna talk about what? The Miseducation of Education Show. You know? Yeah, that's what we're talking about tonight. Why do I talk what's on my identity? Well, check it out, y'all. When we speak of the miseducation of education, wrong, y'all. When we're talking the miseducation of education, what we're really talking about is how really life is constructed here in America on a bunch of lies and fallacies, a bunch of, you know, just untruths that at one point in time, it was hard to even challenge. You understand what I'm saying? You wouldn't even challenge a dare to challenge simply because it can cost you your job. It can cost you basically your motherfucking whole livelihood. So at one point in time, we just had to go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? So it was not such a great situation for Black Americans. I remember when my mother, working in the hospital, she was a medical transcriptionist. You know what I'm saying? But it was the early '80s. You know what I'm saying? And then you had them the dirty ass old white doctors used to hit on my pretty ass black mama, man. She used to, well, we can get you this position, and the quick pro quo type of shit was going on, man. So that was like very uncool. My mother, she was very transparent with us as children. Her birthday coming up pretty soon, so shout out to Mama Dukes. I will be calling you on your birthday. You know, uh, thing is, y'all, you know what I'm saying? When you have certain perspectives about life, you know what I'm saying? Y'all like baby? Y'all like my truck? Y'all like baby? I finally got out of the shop, man. It was an issue. It's probably gonna be a recall on some of you Ram owners. You know what I'm saying? That back glass in the back, if you keep it in the sun, it's covered by a truck cover now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I'm gonna check it out. Back to the script, man. Back to the script. You know what I'm saying? Miseducation of education. My mother got it out the mud, man, but she was always educated because she always kept books around the house for us to read. We was the first in the neighborhood to be having like Britannicas and things of that nature. So that's why I still, due to the fact of how I was raised, I still buy those books now. It's the way I was able to educate myself at such a young age, and probably why I'm an engineer today. I took a liking to science at very young. I took a liking to the elements of Earth. I took a liking to mathematics and all of these things, and I never felt guilty about it either. I never felt like I was ashamed to be, just intelligent enough to want to know more about, what the fuck is going on in the world. What's wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen? What the hell? How the hell is that a problem or an issue? See, the thing is, I also grew up in an era where, you had to be hard too. You had to be motherfucking tough cat. You know what I'm saying? Because we fought. In motherfucking 80s and 90s, you had to goddamn, hey, shit, that's a part of your whole get up, man, knowing how to goddamn put them hands up if you had to. Because you wasn't going to take no L, because when you even growing up in every Black American indigenous household, you was taught one thing. You come home with your ass beat, I'm giving you another one. So I ain't getting my ass whooped. That's why I ain't got no scars. You know what I'm saying? But, I've been in some fights where I respected the fuck out of my homie, and we became friends. So that's kind of how it was too. You know what I mean? That's kind of, that's growing up. That's how my life was growing up in Pensacola, Florida, and Columbus, Georgia. That's who I. That's my identity. That's still my identity. Probably why I also went into the Marine Corps. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these things really it educated me. My mother educated me. My mother didn't allow the classroom to educate her son. My grandmama didn't even allow it. That's when I told y'all when I was 13 and I came back to my grandmama, like, what part of Africa are you from, grandma? Then I asked my other grandmama, don't you insult yourself. Don't you put nobody before you. What you mean? I thought we all black people. No, we not. Uh-uh. We ain't the same. Do you understand what them people think about you? And do you understand why you are not them? And I was like, wow. But that never stopped my heart from being good as a black person. It never made me feel like they were less than me or anything like that. I never felt that my whole life until the words of my elders came true, telling me about foreigners. Understand me well. That's why it's like, damn, I had to tuck my head in my tail back to my grandmama and apologize. I could tell the world that I had to apologize to my grandmama. She said, don't you ever in your life put nobody else before you. Are you crazy, boy? Have you lost your mind? Do you know who you is? You better act like it. Straighten my ass up from day on day, man. We kept learning and, asked my pops about it. He was like, well, son, and my pops gonna be here. We're gonna do some shows. Pops gonna be up here in a little bit, man. We're gonna do some shows. It's gonna be yeah. Man, Pop's going, yeah, we're going to do some shows. So you're going to get a lot of tales about my daddy Will and how, my daddy Will Lester, he knew the land. He knew all of Pensacola. He used to take my daddy and his cousin Michael into these little duckaways and hideaways in Pensacola where you would never even know water was. And he had boats parked there and things of that nature. He knew every inch of Pensacola, Florida. That's Daddy Will. That's Will Lester. Yes, sir. I'm trying to tell you, man. So when he was mound builder. That's where I come from, mound builders, Alabama, Mississippians, them people. So when I tell you I know who I am, how can you bring an African to the Americas and know every inch of the land like the back of your hand? You can't tell me Africans that goddamn. No, hell no, that's indigenous. When you don't have a license, I'm gonna tell you, my dad is gonna confirm this. Be up here real soon, a couple weeks, week two. He's gonna confirm everything I'm telling you right now. He don't even watch my show half the time. He loves it. He loves it. But he says, son, I just love what you're doing, son. I just love it makes my heart. If you feel like what I'm doing, it feel like you doing, I'm doing it. That's how much I love it. I said, I love you, Pop. So you're gonna understand. Pop's gonna confirm everything. But let me tell you something about Will Astor, my great granddad. So Will Astor didn't have no driver's license. He used to buy cars. He was an excavator and also a carpenter. Yeah, he could build anything and sell anything for massive amount of money. And then my mama, Catherine, his wife, she owned a restaurant. So you can't tell me that an African came over here and did all that shit and what? That don't even make no sense. Huh? No. See, that's what you call already been here skills. Already been here skills. How do you think I'm an engineer today? Because the sufferings my family didn't endure to the degree that they want everybody to believe. All my family own their houses. Why do you think I own a house? I am mimicking who I am and who I come from. I can't fake that shit. It's who I am. It's house number 3. I might buy 4, maybe 5. I don't know. This is what I do. It's my family do. On my mama's side, my uncle was an architect. Uncle Snoop was an architect. Built 35 churches and hundreds of houses and repaired hundreds of houses, renovated thousands of houses in the great city of Pensacola, Florida. Teacher, architect, excavator, Will Astor. So you understand Moundville, what they produce, the Mississippian? the builder, the architect of the United States. You act like we don't know who he is. I've been told these stories since I was a little bitty child. And I saw these things with my own eyes. I saw these men get old and die. Smith's owned a full-service gas station in Pensacola, Florida. Yeah, the Smiths. My mama. I'm a Smith too. Yes, this is the Will This Podcast, but I am a Smith as well. Sometimes you don't know who you're talking to, or you don't know who the fuck you're dealing with. Sometimes you don't understand that I don't have to show you every single aspect of every book, but I got one right here for you. Because I can show you right now how the people got in New Orleans. Huh? Right here. This is how you got in New Orleans. From the same place I came from. Right down there in Mexico. It's called the Yucatan. The peninsula. Where all the pyramids are built, where all they say the Olmecs and the Aztecs, the Mayans. Oh yeah. Ta-da. We transformed, we survived. We didn't disappear. We're still alive. Why you think in New Orleans they say, baby? You know, they got that way that they talk about they say like that when the first came over. You know, like they talk like that? And you know, why you got a Pensacola here, folk, you know, we talk like that, you know, all down the Southeast, it's the same way. I have the dialect. I just say my words clearer because of that's what reading does for you. It makes you a little sharper, more precise, and it's a little bit more eloquent with your words. But I'm still a country boy from Pensacola, Florida. That's right, Mound Builder. That's right, straight up, just like that. The people that are connected to everything. We are the roots of America. Do you understand the root of North America? It's the Mound Builders. You don't get a Yamasee. You don't get a Choctaw, a Chickasaw. You don't get a Powhatan. You don't get a Pamunkey. You don't get a Nansima. You don't get none of these. You don't get the Iroquois or Algonquin. You don't get that. But what you do get is a blend with the Siberian man. That's who you get a blend with. But these old black indigenous faces from the South, yeah, they pure and real. Ain't nothing realer than that. You bet your ass. You understand that? Ain't nothing first but this right here. Phenotypically. You better do your goddamn research and understand who you talking to, pimp. Because it ain't from somebody from Nigeria. You motherfuckers believe that old bullshit ass DNA test y'all want to. They just make that shit up. That's why it's public now. How they go out of business? I'm gonna make this shit up right over here. I'm gonna say you got you kind of look like this and you're this and you got DNA from Europe. Yeah. No. You look from they understand their passages. So when you think about the European and then understand the way they have moved across the globe, so that's the story they tell you. And some of you motherfuckers believe it. You don't even understand that shit is in reverse. It's turned upside down. You understand? You get it? The shit is upside down. So a lot of you so-called educated folk, you are not, you know nothing. A lot of lawyers, a lot of these, no, I'm sorry, not lawyers, they mercenaries. I ain't fuck with them. I'm talking about you quote unquote educators out here. That's who I love to fucking poke. Yeah, you guys that teach that bullshit out here acting like what you're telling is the truth. See, when you're self-educated, you don't have to worry about when nobody trying to tell you that's a fucking lie. You don't worry about a lie. You know what you can do to a lie? Flush that bullshit down the toilet because it ain't got no fucking roots at all. It's just a bunch of shit. That's all it is. And that's all it'll ever be. So all of that bullshit history that trash. You can't learn shit from a 6,000-year-old person that walks around the motherfucking globe acting like they know everything and discovered everything and don't know shit about it. And every time you see something that don't look like you, yeah, I don't come from nothing. Yeah, no, well, check it out. If you embrace where you came from, you wouldn't be in the predicament that you are today. Nobody told your fucking ancestors to lie about everything about the fucking world and you run with it. You could have cut that shit off at any time, but you love the privilege. And you didn't want your feelings hurt. But goddamn, why you think everybody raining down on y'all ass right now? Ain't nobody fucking with you. You have fucked with everybody. It's a difference. There's a big fucking difference. It ain't the same. You can't say one is like the other. Because it's not. And it never fucking will be. And the only reason why you kept going so fucking hard, you're like, I don't ever want this to happen to me. So you militarize every goddamn fabric of this goddamn planet. Look at Trump's scare ass. That's the only reason why he got the national. They're gonna kill him with God. That's the only reason why he got the National Guard there. Because he do so much shit and make you want to blow that. I ain't gonna say it. But I'm saying, you see the kind of shit he do? It's grotesque. Shit. But I like some of the shit he do. Just not everything. Just like some of you motherfuckers. Love something, hate other things. How about true justice? If you ever had it in your heart. But see, sometimes some of you motherfuckers get pinched. And, oh, shit! Oh, Lord! You pinched me! Damn. But you just hit a black person last week and hit it. You hit a homeless black person in your fucking Volvo or your Mercedes Benz. You just ran their ass over and goddamn threw the body down a goddamn because they was a junkie. They ain't had no fucking family. Fuck them motherfuckers. They wasn't nobody. That's 3/5 of that's like an animal, ain't it? I ain't an animal. I don't give a fuck. That's shit, man. Some people are just fucking grotesque in nature. Period. So you get pinched with the economy and the way this world is so fucked up and has benefited, all lighter complected people. Why do you think the Latins went so goddamn hard for y'all? Deport the black people. Get them out of here right now. Get them the fuck up out of this country. This is our country. We have been here. Okay, motherfucker. You most of all are mixed. And most people that are of lighter complexion with slanted eyes are Asian. And we all know that Asians are indigenous to Eastern Asia. You can have even Australians look closer. The indigenous Australian look a lot like the indigenous American too. But the Abos, yeah, them. And also, they didn't look Asian. So if you look at the world, the globe, right? If you look at how this thing actually is laid out, you will understand why even the North indigenous Aboriginal looks this complexion, close to the equator, the ranges of copper. I told you my people came from the South and remained in the South, in Pensacola. People, when they settled, when they were settlers, because when people settled, when times had been settled, when they were placed where they were, they didn't move. You know how I know that? Because this, I can tell you from my family records, my grandmother owns acres of land. And she has owned these acres of land for the past 60 years. Before that, it was her father. Yeah. Reservation style churches, houses, everything. Still there for over 120 years plus. That's how you know people didn't move when they settled. I can tell you when they left Choctaw, Alabama, when they left Greenville, when the Cherokee came down, because they were forced. Remember, forced from the Maryland, Virginia, and Carolinas. Yeah, they were forced into Tennessee. They were forced down too. And it also shows, if you look at migrations in your DNA, it shows you who you connected with, who your mothers and fathers are. It also shows you a boatload of other shit like time frames and ethnogenesis and when things moved and when things were shifted in place. It also shows you when people were massively killed. I told you my fucking DNA history is a horror story of America. It's pure American history. That's a pure horror story. Let's not forget about the changing of all the tides and times in the 17 and 1800s when they brought in. Yeah, America had a deal with Russia to get rid of all of their undesirables. So that was the people with a bones in their nose and war paint and shit like that, parading as Indians. They would cause the cosplay us, the gold wearing people, the dope ass people, the people with all the good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's who they was cosplaying, man. They was cosplaying our asses off. And they was doing it, and they had to go send them to fucking school to be Europeanized. And Europeans learn how to be and learn their manners from the American Indian. How perplexed were the fucking times. You should study the Gilded Ages and how they started treating all dark, godly people like pure shit. Literally. It was global. And the reason why it was like that is because who signed on? Asia, Africa, and every fucking body else. They enslaved American Indians and called them Africans. They enslaved us in Africa. How the fuck you think they got Liberia? They weren't going for it. They pulled the nice, humble, happy people from the West and annihilated us. Reclaimed us and renamed us. That's why you get the angry African today. You're just an African with no name. You everything your fucking propaganda teachers told your ass, because Africa would have never known this if it wasn't allowed by your leaders who enslaved your ass too and gave you. How you think you got big ass Jesus in Ghana? Big white Jesus in Ghana. How the fuck you think you got it? Huh? You never spill your fucking dirt about your incest, about why you can't build roads, about the government. You blame every motherfucking thing on the government. You never take accountability for shit. All you do is run away. I ain't shitting on you. No, not at all. But you got some fucking nerve to think you can come to somebody else's country and shit on them. That's awful. That's fucked up. And you know, that goes for the rest of you, the countries too. That goes for India and the Indians. They tried that shit. They was a little too late to the party. You see the mentality like a big Vivek Ramaswamy? You see his mentality? And let's use J.D. Vance's wife. She remains married to this motherfucker. A homosexual wears eyeliner, and he our vice president, this motherfucker. And then you got Vivek Ramaswamy, arm look like a goddamn noodle. This motherfucker was doing 30 push-ups on the Breakfast Club, looking like that. Little goofy noodle face ass motherfucker, man. Straight up European mentality. See, some, it's not all Indians, but some of them are some of the most racist, atrocious Bravians on the planet. And they brethren are dark skinned. They call them Dravidians. The dirt people. They name them like the undesirables. The caste system that they implemented. We need to kill this global caste system, people. Because we all know that shit is a fucking farce, a hoax. And you got, look at Khaled. Look at DJ Khaled out here. A little sorry ass finally getting what he get. Oh, I love it. I think it's great. His little roly-poly ass couldn't even stand up for his motherfucking people. But he loved lots of steak and scrumps. Bitch ass. Talking about him eat pussy. That nigga, man, you already know Khaled is a fun boy. Yeah. Rolling around here. Man, you know what pissed me off about that shapeshifter? The roly-poly? What pissed me off about Khaled is when he got his fat, funky ass carried to a goddamn golf cart because he didn't want to get his Jordans dirty. Khaled, you a sad, fat slab of shit. And everybody should know it. You are awful. You are literally, you a scum. And you won't say shit about kids losing their limbs and the starvation and all of that fucking shit about it. That's just fucking terrible. Those are your people. You rotten son of a bitch. But anyway, oh my gosh. Boy, you got a whole lot of fabricated peoples out here that swear God did. Shut your ass up. Your pussy ass. Man, you a whole fake phony coward. You a loser. Fat ass coward. Raggedy ass. But anyway, man, I don't want to talk about him no more. We don't really sham and shame, but he deserved that shit he getting. He shouldn't get no support. He can't even support his fucking people, man. That is, Oh, that's fucking heartbreaking. But you wash your fat ass around here on private jets and you're a disgusting hunk of shit. That's what you is, your funk ass. Anyway, next, let's talk about something else. These miseducated people. See, the thing is, they trade the miseducation, the lies, the fuckery, the foolishness for what? Well, I act this way. Yeah, I do it. Do it for what? They're gonna humiliate your ass anyway. See, when you have no substance, you're subjugated. When you have no substance, you wouldn't do. You'll keep doing the shit you're doing when you have no substance. When you have substance, you won't allow yourself to be subjugated. Second, let me regroup. You come back. All right, I'm here. So anyway, when you around here trading your soul and your homosexuality and for homosexuality and things that are not natural to you and freaky ass ways that'll get your ass every kind of STD. But you know, you guys got all the money to cure and heal you guys yourselves, so you get to be as freaky and fucked up as you want, and that's all well and good. But that's what you want. But at the end of the day, man, think about the kind of shit you do. Think about the kind of things that you're gonna leave your children when they discover you a whole fucking fraud and everything else in between. See, the one thing you guys should have learned from older Diddler, he may get out of jail, he may not. But he couldn't hide none of that bullshit he was doing. All that money he had, all the shit he did. But he had all them smoking guns. Yeah, smoking guns will whoop your ass every time. Because you have an unclean nature. You see what I'm saying? You're miseducated. You're misunderstood, man. It's the miseducation. It's the facade of what you would see. People are educated on white supremacy. They're educated on the behaviors of whites, and they mimic that. If they lie and they've gotten that far, well, I'm going to try that too. Ask the Latinos. Especially ask the Afro Latinos. They can tell you better than anybody because the hell that they have put up with in their households is none short and fucking inhumane. I'm talking about just because these people are gorgeous and beautiful and they have that beautiful color in their skin, just the evil Longoria. They used to call her Blackie, light as she is. She don't even look like no black woman. She fair. And but that's going the shit out of her with her light bright sisters did too. That shit happened in black households too. Had black households in that time. Yeah. Don't act like it ain't get us either, y'all. That would be ingenuous. That would be disingenuous. Disingenuous if you say that bullshit because that's why black Americans had to grow out of that shit. And that's why we could tell the black people that really would prefer to disassociate with, darker melanated people simply because they can't stand our asses. And that's fair. It ain't fair, but it's fine. I mean, who the hell, what? Because they know the truth. They know where they come from. They know who they come from. And deep in their soul, they think, and they know that motherfucker might be a little better than me for real. That melanin that they activate, that shit may work for real. But I don't even, I know so many people that are great within all the spectrums of, if you start thinking like that, you're already a loser. See, that it's something about feeling supreme and superior that people just want so bad. But you really don't want that shit because you don't want the responsibility of it. How about being the most supreme you can be and limit it to that? That's fair. That's what it is. Be the best version of yourself and come at the globe at that point and accept your outcome. Fuck supreme. Be supreme to you. Be your supreme self. But being your supreme self, you got to be careful. That means you're in control of your soul and your spirit at that point. Then you got to stop lying, stop doing fucked up, habitual bad shit. You can't thieve and steal. You can't look people in the eye and lie. You can't thieve anymore. You can't do all of them things. You got to square up to be as best you can be. And you ain't got to be perfect, but I'm just saying the minimal acts of good grace, truth, justice, reciprocity is owed to a person that you interact with. When you don't know them, you don't get to lie to them, treat them like shit, treat them like they don't matter. Like, it's a code of respect of humans, and I think a lot of people have gotten so off track with disrespecting people, becoming so cognitive dissonant, thinking that they're better because of their color or status. You don't even know people no more. You know yourself. So when you finally introduce yourself back into the world and see how the world is doing, when you come into that fold, you're like, damn, shit, I'm out of my bubble now. Maybe I ain't that fucking great. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not that fucking great. Maybe you need to do a little work on yourself. If you really be honest. That's just like this. This is like the Willis podcast, right? I don't talk down on anybody. I just highlight shit. I know I got to do better on this show. Why? Because I owe it to myself and I owe it to you. If you're going to get on this platform, you have to do it to win it, not do it to, just get out here and say a couple of things and be like, hi, I'm fucking live and I'm going to do some bum ass shit. Nah, I couldn't do that to myself. I refuse. I think that's worthless. And it carries no way of pride and, way of love and appreciation for myself. You understand? So the reason why I like to get back to certain fundamentals and certain aspects of this show is because of two things. For one, we have to educate ourselves properly in order to not interact with each other with so much ferocity. Damn, ease up, shit. Take it easy a little bit too on each other. Learn some about yourself. You got a beef, take it up with you. You may be the one you beefing with in the fucking first place. That's your fault. That's your fucking problem in your situation too. You ever thought about that? So how about you tighten up yourself for a change? It'll serve you better. But check it out. That's the show tonight on the Miseducation of Education, because all of you educated persons have to understand education and being learned, it never stops. You can never stop developing. You can never stop getting better, and you can never stop honing your craft. Get it? That's how you become the best version of yourself. You can't stop. That's the show tonight. YouTube. We love you people. Make sure you share, like, subscribe. And yeah, keep watching the show. Also, go to thewillispodcast.com. Check out the merch. If you like it, do some purchasing if you got it. It also offers Afterpay. You got Klarna. So you ain't even got to pay all that one time. But check out the merch. Keep watching. We need them 4,000 watch hours. So pick them watch hours up. Pick them watch hours up. Let me get to them watch hours so I can get to so we can get to some real shit. Then we can get to some y'all go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and get my watch hours up for real. Because that's when I can really unleash the beast and we can get to some some good shit. Like oh yeah, man, I got some shit planned. We're gonna get to some good. We're gonna keep that on the list though. But we are going to be going on, what's that? We're going on Patreon, and that's going to be the more raw shows, uncut, and I'm going to be fucking with my homeboys, chilling out, talking major shit, cash shit, talking some real major, I don't do conspiracy theories, but it's going to be some hellified truth that will be exposed and a lot of shit that you just don't know. Stay tuned. I'm coming. Just like you see all the books that I share, all the uncommon books like this one right here. Let me show you another one too, so I ain't bullshit with you at all. Let me show you this other one right here. Check it out. The Worst Trickster Story Ever Told. Yeah, buddy, we gonna get into this book too. Man, this is this book, because I left off at one point in this book and because there was a plot twist in this thing. And he's really giving you, this is really like a book, like a novel, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a great read. But basically, this is the trickery story. But it's a really bad one. It's the worst, actually. And yet, we keep retelling it as if we're authentic and authoritative and real. Damn. If you are somewhat confused and maybe even a little bit wary of where I'm going with this, I don't blame you. It is difficult to explain, let alone connect it to American legal doctrine, because tricksters and trickster stories defy easy explanations for complementarialization, which sorts to prove their point. But we will get to that shortly. In fact, there has been some debate as to whether it's feasible to think that the trickster is the archetype and the trickster story is the journey. But put a bit more simply, ask, what is a trickster story? Is a lot of asking. It is a lot like asking, what is a movie? While there are something that connects to various things that might describe as a movie, there can be lots of different answers depending on who is making the movie and what the movie maker is trying to convey. A Hollywood blockbuster is different from a documentary, which is different from a home movie meant just for the family, which is different from a TikTok video of those, which still, by the time that you read this, which is different from a training video you might watch at your job. They all can make a claim of being a movie, all of which, at the note, a couple of critical points that demonstrate the challenge before us. First, trickster stories are flexible and adaptable and can suit many purposes depending on the teller wants to say and what the audience needs to hear. Sometimes the stories are meant to be taught. Sometimes they are meant to be explained. Sometimes they are meant to be funny. And often and more times, one of these things at once. Consequently, the second of the hard to define with any precision, to which universally applicability to the versions of tellers, the trickster and his story, as you might guess, are awfully tricky. Whew. Boy, when I tell you the truth, we're going to get more into that book when we monetize. Yeah, when we get on that Patreon, we're going to tell you all the juicy, all the juice. Clean my nose out. I like that cleanliness kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, okay, YouTube, that's the show tonight, man. I had to get that out for y'all guys, give y'all a little preview of what we got to come. Yes, indeed. So check it out. That's the show tonight. Come on, say it with me. It's my favorite part. You know what it is. The will is go. We'll be back, YouTube, tomorrow. Goddamn, y'all watched it.